Hello, welcome back to episode 6, part 2. We just left off the party making a daring escape after literally hatching a foolproof plan. Who would have thought?
It actually worked.
It actually worked. A plan in D&D worked without any substitutions, any changes, any improvising. Well, there was some improvising, but yeah, the plan went off without a hitch. You guys did really, really well. Wiltix and Azure managed to rescue Leosin from down towards the south where he was tied up. Mira successfully burnt down some tents with people living in them, and Emeric punched a dude in the face and started a brawl. So, perfect plan, really.
Worked out well, to perfection, just as planned.
Play your strengths. Yeah. So we left off just as the party were leaving the camp after Emeric had scared off some kobolds and told them to basically fuck off. You guys are now... It is the evening. It's currently about 6 o'clock, I'd say. All of that probably took about an hour on top of when you first started this plan. So yeah, about 6:30, and you guys are running away from the camp, moving as quickly as you can in the darkness. What I'd like to know is what you guys are doing. So Azure at this point is helping along Leosin, and Azure is underneath Leosin's arm, helping him move along and run, and they're going to be towards the middle of the group. Wiltix, what are you doing?
So we're out obviously of the area now, so there's no more guards or anything like that around it.
Yeah, you guys are moving. Basically, at this point, you're running back up the edge of that box canyon that takes you to where you fought the rear guard. If you move at this pace for another 20 minutes, you'll be back where you were at those tents.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure. I might even, the others might be a little bit slower, moving a bit cautiously. I want to try and see if I can sniff out or sense ahead any kind of guards or anything like that. Any other troops coming towards the area to assist, I suppose?
Yeah.
I'll probably be at the front.
Yeah, so Wiltix, you said that you were going to be sniffing ahead, moving forwards to try and see if you can locate any potential obstacles on the road ahead.
Yeah, or any guards or anything like that, because I'm assuming that seeing the fire, is the fire burning quite fiercely now, or are they getting it under control at the...
Yeah, so as you sort of come around the edges of the canyon where this is located, the edges of the plateaus, you can see the light dancing above, but it's very hard to see the flame itself. You're not quite sure whether they've got it under control, what's happening there.
Okay, yeah, so I'm assuming that, a fire like this could call in other guards or whatnot from the area, so I just want to be on alert after retrieving my hat back from good old Leosin. I don't think he needs it any longer.
Absolutely, yeah. So you get your hat back off Leosin. He hands it back to you, thanks you for the hat, and says, "Do you have a dog?"
Oh, I have. A lovely little pet. He's very well behaved and only attacks when I ask him to.
Oh, sorry. Just the smell reminded me of my dog I used to have. She brought me back. Sorry, not important. Carry on.
I look at Wiltix and I go, "Ugh, I've never seen you without the hat off. Actually, your hair looks a bit weird."
Yeah, look, I've got a bit of serious hat hair, especially when you live in it daily and don't ever remove it unless dire circumstances. So
I've literally never seen you without your hat off.
We literally haven't seen you without your glove off either, Emeric.
That's a very good point, Mira. Very good point.
Something that's best left to the imagination there, Emeric.
Is how'd you lose it?
Well, look, we'll talk about this another time. Like we're definitely not at the right moment right now.
Are we running? We're running, right?
We're running, yeah. We're running.
It's bad, we're running.
Okay.
So we're literally talking. As we're talking, like we're sort of at a brisk pace.
I love your hat so much.
So look, I'll definitely tell you over a bit of ale. What do you think about that, Wiltix? And you can tell me all about your hat and stuff.
You can tell me all about your hat.
We're trying to be friendly.
I just zoned out for a second, and that's what brought me back in. It was just a brief moment where my brain was like, because I was reading something ahead, and my brain just was like, "Did I hear that sentence?"
Good try.
D&D.
Are we getting close to the gorge?
Yes. So you guys are only about 20 minutes walk away from the gorge, so probably 5 minutes dash if you're just sprinting through the undergrowth.
I'll just say,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I was going to say, I can obscure us once we get into the gorge. They won't be able to follow us after that.
Oh, whatever we need done. Depends on if anyone's actually following us.
Well, can I
Yes, I was going to say,
smell
so
or hear anyone?
Wiltix, do you want to make a survival or a perception check? And I believe if you're focusing through your sense of smell, you have advantage on this.
I do. So
Nice.
either way, it's the same for
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
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 Mm.
Apparently, I was meant to roll a 7.
Oh,
Yeah.
dearie.
So you had advantage, you rolled 2 7s. I think roll 20 has deemed tonight is a 7 for you.
That's a lucky
as you're
number.
running through, it's your lucky number, but not in D&D. As you're running through the undergrowth, your nose catches whiffs of rabbits, deer. There are some wolves as well, not too far away, off towards the south, that you catch their scent trail as you sort of skirt the edge of their territory. You can smell the presence of the cultists that moved through this area originally, both on the way and then on the way back again. Apart from that, you're not getting any fresh smells. It's all stuff from the last couple of days, and you're not detecting anything new as far as you can tell. And as you're running through the undergrowth, you're finding it very hard to keep track of where you need to go. You guys currently don't have a light source. I think the only people with dark vision are Wiltix and Azure.
Yes, I have 60 feet of dark vision.
So, honestly, as we're running through, I'll probably be doing the little thing I always do and grabbing onto Wiltix's clothing, or some sort of clothing, and he
His
sort of
hat.
guides me.
Just grab his hat. Like a leash.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Is he a seeing eye, Wiltix?
Like, how far away? How far away? I suppose, are we from the camp now?
Probably about 5 minutes dash if you guys are just sprinting. 5-10 minutes run.
Okay, so it's probably not. I mean, I could cast light, but I just think it's better if we keep heading.
Yeah, it's probably good to be obscured by darkness right now.
So
for
so
example,
Mira.
at least.
Emeric's going to be holding on to Wiltix. Mira, did you want to hold on to Azure and Leosin? Because both of them have dark vision, it seems. They both don't seem to have any trouble looking around.
I need goggles. I
Um,
need those goggles.
I would
Goggles
do
on that.
dancing lights, but I'll wait until we get to the gorge, and
I think it's better we wait.
I'll
If
cast.
you wanted to do a
Cloud.
dancing light underneath your coat or your cloak, you could have it be a little bit hooded. Just an option, just so that you know, because you can do that. Because obviously you can move the dancing light. So if you held one of the orbs right in
I
front of you,
put one
and then
underneath Wiltix's hat,
You
so
could
it's
do
like
that.
a little.
yeah, you could do that. So it's glowing faintly.
I'm like a
What
light
colour
up
do you want
garden gnome.
it? Yeah.
That's it.
Like
Oh
one
my
of
God.
those solar powered ones.
That's the name of the episode right there.
Solar powered gnome.
Yeah.
Solar powered gnome. Yeah, we've had two Wiltix named episodes in a row. This is good.
Just lift up your hat, just a little bit, just a bit.
What is everyone's obsession with my hat today? But, yes. I'll,
No, you're right. No, I don't think we should cast any lights. Not yet.
All right, just
I just
tell
don't
me
think
when.
we're far enough. I don't think we're far enough away yet.
yes, just follow the big glowing witch's hat, I suppose, like the orange cone that's now
It wouldn't be
alive.
that bright. It wouldn't be that
Nah,
bright.
it's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's not that-
especially
it's
through
only
the
10
fabric.
feet.
It's
Yeah,
more to
especially
help
through the
us.
fabric.
It's more to help us just like dodge branches and
And
rocks.
Yes.
yeah,
But if you're directly behind Azure and Leosin, it's more just stuff tripping on the ground. And if Azure's keeping an eye out for you and helping warn you, you don't run into too many problems.
And imagine me and Wiltix. Me and Wiltix have got a little budding friendship going, so I'm sure he'll help me out.
What does Wiltix have to say about
I
that?
think
Look, it's love-hate relationship.
there's
It's,
definitely a buddy, friendship going on. I hope, and he's
I
gonna
compare it more to
hopefully.
like a.
I'd like to think of you
siblings.
as just a tall version of me, Emeric, except
I'm hoping you will tell me about every rock and branch that comes up, but you may not.
well, do you know what? All the ones that I notice is because look,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
only,
your height.
I'm like 3'7".
Yeah.
So like, and you're what? You're almost.
I'm 6
twice
foot
my
four.
height. You're 6'4".
Double in a
So
bit.
look, anything that's really 5 foot or lower is what I'm probably going to be paying attention to. So
So I'm just might be whacking my head on a few branches.
Very rarely you get a little whack as a twig hits your face from a low-hanging branch. But you guys are running along a road that's already been cleared by carts and the cultists that were moving through. You're not just running through forest. If you were running through forest, I'd be making you do some checks. But you're running on a pathway, and if you've got 2-3 people with dark vision who are keeping an eye out, you're fine. You guys dash back to the camp after a few minutes of very intense running. At this point, Leosin is starting to look very exhausted. I'm going to have all of you make me a Constitution saving throw, just to see how exhausted you are after this 10-minute sprint at full speed away from the camp.
Oh shit!
Azure, you take a point of exhaustion.
10.
It's just Emeric got 14, Wiltix got 10, Mira got 13, Azure got 4. So the rest of you are fine. Azure, you take a point of exhaustion, and I will post this in the chat so that you can see it. But basically,
Oh, so no, you go ahead.
No, sorry. You say something. What were you gonna say?
I was just going to say, how bloody is Leosin actually looking?
Not too bloody.
Okay.
He's looking like it's more sort of long-term damage that he's taken from the torture, but it's not anything super serious. Nothing that a bit of healing and a good sleep wouldn't fix.
With a quick glance, if I cast Cure Wounds on him, would it make him a lot more able?
You wouldn't know that Azure had already done some magical healing. You're not sure. Yeah, you're not sure. Azure, at level 1 exhaustion, you have disadvantage on ability checks, and exhaustion doesn't go away until you take a long rest.
Okay.
So there's 6 levels of exhaustion. At level 1, you have disadvantage on ability checks. At level 2, your speed is halved. At level 3, you have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws, as well as the earlier effects. At level 4, your hit point maximum is halved. At level 5, your speed is reduced to 0. And at level 6, you die.
Yay!
Yeah, so don't get exhaustion level 6 if you can avoid it. You're only level 1, so you've just got disadvantage on ability checks. And if you have a long rest, that will go. Provided that you also ingest some food and drink, I've just read, so you'll have to make sure you eat some provisions at the same time. I never remembered that rule. That's hilarious. It's there in black and white. So you're level 1 exhaustion currently, and it seems that Leosin is in a similar position as well. He's looking pretty exhausted. But you guys make it back to the gorge. What did you want to do?
Oh.
Well, look, Leosin, you said that they were looking at moving camps. Do you know if they were doing that in the next day, week, month? How long do you believe that we'd have until they've start on their move?
So, quickly to interject, we just sort of come into the gorge now, and we've just sort of stopped. We're sort of catching our breath. We've made some headway, and now we're having this conversation. Is that
just
what I'm
at the
gathering?
entrance to the gorge? Yeah. So just at the entrance to the gorge. So originally, you guys you haven't actually walked through this space below. This is where you dropped the rocks on that cultist who Mira charmed. You haven't actually been through this section before, but this section leads between the two sides of the camp that you ambushed and dealt with last time.
Cool. So we'll sort of stop for a breather. So then Simon just said that.
Yeah. Leosin, sort of puffing a little bit faintly, goes, I'm not 100% sure when they were planning on leaving. I just know that it was sometime, in the next day, 2 days, I think. They kept saying they needed more of the Horde. For the Horde? I don't know.
No, I'm assuming it's for the Horde. They keep yelling at the little cobalt bastards. So, look, Emeric, Mira, Azure, do you want to head back to the town, get your friends, or Azure's friend at least, healed and mended, and then head back out here and hopefully catch them on their move, or what would you like to do?
Well,
I think that sounds good.
That was our mission, wasn't it? To get the Azure's friend here and take him back.
Well, it was also to try and retrieve the priest.
That was one of them, wasn't it? That was a little side quest.
I think it was might be paying us for it.
Did Emeric and Mira, do you know what's inside the cave?
No, Emeric would have no idea. He wasn't around for that.
No.
He would have. I think he might have looked at Leosin with you guys, and then when he hatched the plan, he took off to go to the to the mercenaries, and then you guys saw the cave and the goings and coming and goings, and then Mira went and talked to them. So Emeric wasn't really around for that, so he actually wouldn't be aware of the cave. But Mira might be.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll probably let you know. Like, Emeric, there is a cave inside that camp which they're using to store all the riches and fortunes that they've taken from these towns. But Leosin mentioned something about worm speak, which, if I remember correctly from my times travelling, is only spoken or only represents a very small minority of the cult, which means that there's something very important in there. Leosin, I believe you mentioned possibly dragon eggs?
Yes, they spoke of a dragon hatchery. In the caves, they were planning on raising some dragon eggs.
Do we want to...
Well. That's an interesting development. That definitely throws a bit of a spanner in the works.
I agree. Well, man, I suppose that's what we were told when we interrogated that thief. He told us they were hatching dragons. Sorry.
Yeah, so I kind of think that we were faced with the option that this cult is clearly, I mean, as new or old as they are, they're clearly gathering forces at the moment, and I mean, if we know that there's a point of weakness that there will be in their plans when they're moving from spot to spot, at least we could maybe get some of these hatchlings or...
That's true, and it would be much easier than trying to attack either this camp or the one that they go and set up. I think
Exactly.
that's...
Well,
And
would
You
it
can do
be,
hit and run.
would it be easier now or later? Because right now we left that settlement in a bit of a chaotic spot.
Well, I'm hoping that the fight that you I'll say effortlessly started, Emeric, would hopefully cause a little bit of the bit of tension between the mercenaries. So hopefully, we only have to deal with the cultists themselves and not the ones that are paid with coin to be on their side. But I'm not sure if that will dwindle their numbers enough for us to get by. But I'm sure that a bit of scouting might not hurt.
Well, that's definitely your neck of the woods. I'm not really much of a scout.
Oh, that's
Point me at a
okay.
thing and I'll go kill it.
Well, you
Back to
could be the
village.
muscle. But yeah, do you want to head back to the village and then maybe come back and see if we can? I mean, we've got a great vantage point with these ridges here that we can look down on and watch their numbers and who's moving through. But I suppose this is up to
This
the
way.
group decision.
Alright, well, we'll head back and we'll get a bit of a night's rest. We all look...
Yeah, I think it's definitely need a rest.
Okay.
We can also get reinforcements from the village.
Yes, as long as the soldiers are not too crippled, I'm sure that we could.
We could bring along the priest. He seemed good in a tight spot.
That was what I was thinking, yes.
Good point. Good point. All right. Well, should we keep heading through? It is now becoming night, or do you want to try and rest for now and?
Well, how long
Take
would it
a
take?
fight.
How long would it take for us to get back to the village? We did travel this path before.
Yeah.
But during daylight as well.
Yeah. Let me just quickly double check.
And then we'll make a...
Couple of hours.
So did you guys
3 hours?
like not in obviously game speed, but did you guys actually want to stick around to try and see the people moving, or just come back at some point after we've gotten a night's rest?
It's a bit...
Leosin,
Yes.
what's your information? What do you know of their movements? What they're going to be planning?
Oh, I mean, there's a lot I can tell you about them. I've been researching this group for quite some time, ever since I first heard about them. How much has Azure told you of our mission and our purpose?
I haven't told them much.
Oh, should we share,
But-
or is there a reason
well,
you've been...
Should we, look, I don't mean
but
to
I-
interject, But should we actually talk about this when we get back to the village?
Well, that's what I was going to
Well-
suggest. Let's do this around an ale. It's probably a tale of it might take a little bit of telling.
But I wonder if our time is a bit limited.
I mean,
If they're going to go now,
looks like there's a campsite up on the bluff there. Is that your camp?
Yeah. We
you
probably
could,
shouldn't go there.
You could say that.
We inhabited it for a while.
Yes, we've claimed it in the name of Tempest.
We
Well, then
we
why
might
don't
have
we rest
stocked
there?
it with dead bodies.
Oh, okay. Did you want to rest there and remove the bodies, or do you want to try and make your way back to town?
how urgent do you think we need to act on this raid? If they're heading out immediately, then there's no time to waste.
Well,
Yes.
Look, I don't know about
Depends.
immediately. Like, they've just had a lot of chaos tonight. They might have a day or two to recover from that.
It didn't exactly look like the bags were packed, did they, Emeric?
No,
No.
an army of that size is going to take a little while to get up and move.
They do have dragons, remember? There's a giant blue one. I think can't remember his name. He carries things for them sometimes. That's how they set up the camp so quickly there.
Well, that might, that's yet another spanner thrown in the works.
Seems to be a lot of those with this group.
Not at all, not at all.
Oh no, sorry, with the cult, not with you lot. You seem very competent, and if Azure trusts you, then I trust you as well.
Well, let's maybe
Nicholas, and should we have enough time to go potentially more than 10 hours? So
Yeah, it's hard to know. How long did you say it was back to town? 2-3 hours?
2 hours.
Okay, so 2-3 hours back, we have 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep, and then 2-3 hours back again.
It's a long time.
We're looking at 12 hours difference. I'm not sure. It depends whether we want to catch them when they're completely gone or try and watch them as they're leaving. It depends on what you want.
Well, it's hard to tell. I'd like to get them when they're at they're most distracted. Maybe pick up some stragglers at the back and get the things we need, or at least learn a bit more about them.
I mean,
sure
I can share plenty of information. I've been there for 3 days now.
The thing is, if you say that the dragon takes their thing, well, if they're on the move, then we may not be able to get to those things if the dragon takes off and flies with them.
It didn't sound like the whole camp was moving. They spoke of leaving behind. They spoke of the hatchery remaining intact. I think the cave system in the hatchery is going to stay there, regardless. From the sounds of it, they kept referring to the horde needing to be moved. Something about it was after that blue Cyan Wraith or Langdedrosa. It was after he returned from town. He seemed a little bit shaken. Said that they needed to take action and move the horde. Said that
if the cave's already unattended.
That's the question: is how unattended would they leave a clutch of dragon eggs? I can't imagine they'd leave them unguarded, but certainly if the main forces are moving out with the horde, whatever that is.
Maybe we should stay and see what this horde is first before we try and attack it.
So our plan is to rest up, recuperate, and watch.
Yes,
So maybe we should maybe we should create a little camp in the woods.
Yes, I don't have a tent or anything. Could I use
Well,
one of the tents from the
We can
bluff?
commandeer the one from up there, I suppose.
Yeah, so I was thinking I might take one of the ones that doesn't have any bodies in it, if that's okay.
Probably a good
Never
idea.
hurt anyone.
Yeah, look, I don't object to that.
Yep, let's do that.
Alrighty, I think you guys have got a solid plan. So you'll go take one of the tents from up on the bluff. You put all the bodies in one tent, which means that there were 3 tents left. Do you want to just take all 3?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, sure.
Sweet. Yeah, you guys take all 3 tents. And where did you want to set up camp? Did you want to stick to the top here, or did you want to head sort of off towards the closest forest you remember, or woodland from the approach is there's a little copse of trees back the way you've just come towards the camp, but off towards the east a touch more, so a little bit away from the main road where you'd be pretty guarded and pretty protected. Otherwise you can... Oh, sorry, yeah.
No, you go.
I was just going to say, otherwise you can camp on the main road, you can camp up here, you can set up a camp in between the two halves of this bluff near where the squashed pancake of the cultist is. It's up to you guys.
I don't think the main road would be a good idea.
Yeah, I think the woodland might be good.
I think the woodland is good because it's guarded and it provides a little bit of safety.
Well, I'm more worried about the aerial view if we have a dragon flying in and out. So
yes.
Trees would be good, yeah.
Okay, so what are each of you doing? So Leosin will move up towards the bluff to collect some tents.
So maybe I'll go with Leosin then.
Yep.
Right.
I'll definitely help as well because I'm strong.
Okay, so the three of you are getting the tents, so you'll easily get the tents and then some firewood and things like that from the old camp. Wiltix and Mira, what are the two dark vision people doing?
Scouting out a position that would be probably best that we'd have a lot of cover from both the road and the sky. So that way.
Perfect. Yeah. Do you want to make me a survival check with advantage as you get help from Mira for this?
Helping.
Nice.
20 unnatural and
20 unnatural is good.
Well,
19 and 20.
Wow.
You immediately spy a dense patch of woodland, not too far from where you guys are now. Really, really well protected. There's a large oak tree with a number of smaller beech trees forming a protective barrier from the road, so that if you guys set up here, you think you could even have a campfire pretty safely. Dense bushes and undergrowth protect the area. You think you've got a pretty good spot here.
perfect. So I'd head back up, make sure that the two people that Emeric can't see. I suppose he's probably just picking up random things up there. That unless
Leosin and Azure are helping out. They've both got dark vision.
Yeah, they'll be definitely like sort of helping me out, telling me what to pick up and where to move it and stuff, giving me, orders pretty much.
Well, perfect. I'll just leave the guys when they're done because I can't carry an awful lot.
Absolutely. And Mira, did you want to make a little campfire in that area, Mira, or what are you doing?
Yeah,
did you want to do some cooking with your cooking proficiency?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Nice.
But
using your guild roll.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Hell
I've been writing down the number of kills, by the way, as well.
Oh, have you been keeping track of the kills?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Remember that you can use that to give advantage if you study a kill.
Yeah, I haven't really had a chance. So it's been so.
You've got the pancake. You could go collect the pancake and check him out.
I couldn't do that.
Just
I burnt it though. I burnt it.
Ah, that's true.
I burn everything, it seems. I swear to God, I wasn't going to play a chaotic pyro character this time.
This time,
oh well.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Some things are just hard coded.
Yeah. Oh well.
Just hardwired. So Mira, do you want to make me? So how are you going to cook this meal? So you're focusing on presentation like last time. Do you want to focus on like the ingredients? So the way that we do skill checks with this sort of stuff, I think I've described before, but I'll go through really quickly. When you're using tool proficiencies, I normally get my players to describe how they're doing it. So for example, if you're using cooking proficiencies, if Mira is focusing on the presentation of the food, I'd say that'd be more of a charisma check. If she's focusing on really technical instructions, probably more an intelligence check. And that's generally how I do tool proficiencies, and I find it's really good. How do you guys like it as players?
I think it's good.
Just means that you can use
tools.
Yeah, it means you can actually use the tools. Mira, what would you like to use?
So for this one, I think she'd like to use Constitution because we're all like it's been a day. So something
so you're looking
hearty.
to make something hale and hearty pub food. Mira's roadside pub cuisine.
I remember pub food. Oh, good times.
Sorry, I shouldn't have brought up the good old days.
Don't worry about it. When lockdown's all done, we can all get a pub meal together.
Yes.
That sounds lovely. I remember those days. People. Prophecy speaks of a day when people can go outside again.
But it is not this day.
It is not this day.
Until then, we'll have our pub meals in character.
We will.
We'll
Yeah.
continue to live vicariously through Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, make me a Constitution check with your proficiency bonus added. So you can just roll a con and then add your proficiency if you want to.
Oh, that's an 8.
Plus your proficiency. Remember
That is plus my proficiency, yeah.
So what, 2?
is that
So
already
12?
plus your
10?
proficiency?
It's already plus the proficiency, yeah.
Oh no. Okay, yeah. So you
Or is that-
what sort
Gone
of
down to the
Isn't that plus-
RSL club for this one. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
Isn't that plus 2 for cons?
That
Is
is
that-
that's why I rolled it on roll 20.
What's
that
your-
is that is a plus con. Yeah.
Oh, so
Is your
it's
con
still got
plus
plus
0?
2.
Yeah.
No, it's plus 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
but
you
you
should add your
proficiency
proficiency
as
as
well.
well.
It's 10.
It should be
It
plus
added
another 2.
No, it already did it. 6.
Did
It
it?
rolled a 6 if you hover over it.
Yeah, but that's
But then-
you have plus 2 from cons, and then
Yeah.
you're adding proficiency bonuses as well.
Yeah, so proficiency is
plus
on top of
another
that,
2.
so you get another plus 2.
So it's plus 4.
So it's 10. So you get the plus of your con score, and your con score is plus 2, and your proficiency score is plus 2. So when you add those together, you get plus 4. So you rolled a 6, and you get plus 4 to that.
So it's a
Because
little
you're
better.
proficient in cooking
Just
tools,
like-
so
yeah.
you get to add your
All
Next
those-
to your walking speed on the D&D Beyond, it's got your proficiency bonus. Isn't that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Adding
that's
that?
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but I wasn't adding the bonus. That's fine. It's too much maths. All those
It is a lot of
2s.
math.
Come on, guys.
It's a lot of math. So 10 total. 10 is average. You make it's not quite the RSL down the road. This is more maybe like a Hog's Breath Cafe
Oh.
style.
It's just very run of the mill. It's very down the street, very average.
It's
So
lovely
what sort
weather.
of food are you preparing, Mira?
Beef stew.
Beef stew. Yeah.
Oh god, you can do whatever you like. Go with it.
She's there like cutting up some potatoes, and then a voice calls out from the darkness. What's taters, eh? Precious.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so no, you don't. No, that doesn't.
Boil
happen.
and mash them, stick them in a stew.
Stupid fat princess. Yeah, so you guys, Mira cooks a really nice hearty stew. Sorry, not a really nice hearty stew, a nice hearty stew. Wiltix, you lead the others back. You set up your tents, and Leosin sort of sits himself down, enjoys the stew, and then goes, "Right, so did you have any specific questions about the order, or do you want me to just go through what I know?"
We'll go through what you know, and then if we have any questions, I'm sure that we can raise them at the end. Raise your hand.
okay.
Okay. Don't interrupt halfway through, hey?
Emeric's actually propped himself up against a tree, and you hear slight snoring.
Okay, are you pretending to be asleep or actually?
No,
just
he's
being
actually
truthful? Yeah,
asleep.
beautiful. Alrighty, then Emeric, you can benefit from a long rest while we go through this.
Thank you.
Who actually, before you do, who's going to keep watch during the night? Just out of
Look,
interest.
someone can nudge me when it's my turn. I'll probably take like the third watch or something.
So Azure and Leosin can't if they want to get rid of the exhaustion, basically.
Yeah, I need
Well,
to
they
rest.
can, but it's they'll have disadvantage on the check because they're mostly focusing on recovering.
All right. Well,
I can take the second watch.
Alrighty.
I was going to say, wouldn't it be better if you took the first watch as well? Then you get the longer rest
Yeah,
uninterrupted.
that does make sense.
Yep, done.
So Azure
Okay.
first, Wiltix second, and then
Well,
that's it.
Leosin
So you
and
need
I
to.
can
You
do
only
it
need to.
together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah, perfect.
and like, you can have Azure do it, but if he needs a long rest, like Emeric's willing to do it,
He won't get a choice. We'll wake him up.
well, that's it.
You could do that.
That's all I expect.
Yeah, so I'll hold off on the long rest until we do the rolls for that. So,
Yeah.
Leosin will share what he knows. Okay, first off, the cult. It has something to do with Tiamat. I'm sure you heard them talking about praising Tiamat's glory. It seems to be something they said all the time, and they kept saying that they were doing this for the glory of Tiamat. How much do you know about Tiamat?
Little bits. They have an advantage on this.
Yes, quite. Well, for those of you who aren't familiar, Tiamat is a god, one of the betrayer gods. From what I've pieced together, she turned her back on this world and caused a rift, a division between the dragons. She turned a number of the chromatic, the coloured dragons against the metallic, and caused a war. And before she was sealed away in Avernus, one of the layers of the Hells. another plane of existence, Azure, like where we came from, the Feywild. The betrayer gods were the betrayer gods were sealed and defeated and sealed away by the prime deities. Most of the people you see there are low-ranking members. It seems that there's some sort of pyramid scheme set up here where there's a very few number of very high-ranking officials who wield all the power and all of the wealth, and then a large number of acolytes and very low-level organizers. The kobolds, from what I can gather, I think they're there because they tend to worship dragons, and that just makes them easy to control and easy to make do all the manual labor. But I couldn't really fully figure out what the kobolds were doing there. I just know they're very easy to manipulate, but they're not very well liked in the camp. The cult has been raging far and wide on small raids to collect treasure. Everything they do seems to be focused on this idea of the Horde. Green Nests, I heard that's where they're attacking next, just seemed to be the biggest of all the towns they'd attacked, and clearly the most profitable from what I saw them bringing back in. They must have gotten into the treasury. The cave, as you know, is the nursery. There's a Dragonborn or a half-dragon, a black one, called Resmir. She's the one who set up the camp. She's the one who seems to be somewhat in charge. She's a worm speaker, so I gather. She was very interested in what I knew, and Azure, I think she knew a little bit more about me. I think she suspected my nature.
I wonder where she got that information from.
Very troubling. Frulam Mondath is another high-ranking official, a little bit lower. They're the one who they run the camp. That was their specific responsibility, was to run the everyday operations of the camp. Cyan Wraith, I think you know him as Langdedrosa, that blue Dragonborn half-dragon that was coming after us at the end there. He seems to be in charge of a group of them, but I'm not quite sure what his role is. He pauses for a second and then looks. Your name was Mira. He was calling out your name. I've only just remembered that. You know him?
We have a history, yes. Long time ago.
He seemed very interested in you. Not an enviable position.
We met that. We met that dragon at the last town we're at. Emeric fought him in a champions battle.
And you're still alive. He looks over at Emeric. Oh, you're sleeping. And he's still alive. That's impressive.
Emeric will stir a little bit. He'll sort of look up, because he was sort of stirred when he heard Betrayed Gods.
Yeah.
Because it was only in a light sleep. He was only just starting to fall asleep. He snored a little bit, but you know how you sort of go in and out.
And as things sort of rouse your attention, your conscious mind pulls you back. Yeah, absolutely.
So he'll sort of stir and he'll look at what is it, Leonin or Leosin? Yeah,
Leosin.
Oh my god, maybe I should make him Leonin, and he's actually a lion man. That'd be cool.
Oh my god, nah, he's
Leosin. He's Leosin.
I'll sort of stir and I go, did you say Betrayed Gods?
Yeah, probably about 1.5 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago.
He's a bit slow on the old uptake, Emeric, don't worry.
Emeric you sort of look at Emeric, and a little bit of the devilish spark that he has in his eyes and the grin. He doesn't have that right now. He actually looks a bit grim. He looks a bit like something. He's distracted and he sort of spits on the ground.
You're probably also gripping at your artificial hand as well. I imagine with your
I'll probably be holding onto the arm and I'll be gripping it.
Our friend Emeric is not a lover of gods, as we can attest to that poor man that we met on the way in.
Emeric sort of goes, not a poor man, foolish man.
Well, they're one and the same, aren't they?
That's very deep, actually. Yeah,
that's Azure for you. But yeah, no, Emeric is not his joyous self. He is in his own head at the moment, looking at the fire, grim.
So, from what I can understand, the Order keep talking about the return of Tiamat, claiming that there's a prophecy that she will return and that all the nations of the world will tremble before Her Majesty. For obvious reasons, Azure, we cannot allow that to happen. That would be apocalyptic. That would be catastrophic. It'd be the ruin all over again, and from what I've heard, that was a disaster.
That was not great the first time.
Yeah, I mean...
It would not be good to have that happen again.
Yeah,
As
the end of the world, as people knew it.
As this is happening, Emeric sort of a revelation sort of comes into his. He starts thinking about something. He looks at Leos and goes, "Did you say Tiamat's coming into the world?"
It's what the cult seem to believe. They
Would,
believe that she's coming soon.
Would Tiamat need sacrifices of sorts?
I'm not sure how the spell or the magic would work to bring her back, or how she's imprisoned in the first place. That was the stuff of gods, but I imagine from what they were saying it would involve sacrifice of items and possibly people as well. Yes, that does fit with what I've observed of the cult. They're very willing to kill.
Emeric will stand up. He'll look at the flames and he'll actually walk off.
That hits very close to home for Emeric.
Yeah, around the tree, and he'll sort of isolate himself from the group for now, while he sort of clutches at his halberd.
Well, that's actually good timing, because that's actually the point where Lucian goes, and that's pretty much all I know.
So yeah, Emeric is actually in his own. He's isolated himself. He's in his own world. He's not his joyous self. He's definitely something struck home.
I imagine there's a lot of reflection going on.
Yeah, there is.
Edgelording over in the corner there.
It is a bit of an edgelord move,
Yeah.
but there's a reason for it. He's just realized something.
Mira's watching.
He's realized something that could definitely have. Like he's realized a connection to Tiamat and past events.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Leosin turns to the three of you and goes, "Did you have any questions, specifics? I might be able to answer some."
Oh, I don't know. I'm quite exhausted, but I think we should. It's if this Tiamat is anything like the gods that we've heard of, this is a battle to end all battles that is coming up before us.
Yes, I think this will be unlike anything you and I have faced, and hopefully,
this is your mission?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I think it's probably time that we told you what is happening.
Oh yes, please be my guest, Azure.
Oh, by the way, Emeric can hear. He's just around the tree.
Absolutely.
Just letting everyone know so he can hear. Go ahead.
Well, as you may know or you may not know, we've been sent here to complete a task. Leosin and I were both born together in the Feywilds, in a place that we could be protected until we were ready.
The Twilight
We trained
Grove.
together. We trained together and to be ready for when our mission was opened to us.
We may look like humans, or in my case, more of a half-elf, but we are Aasimar. We are beings of angelic power. Power I think we're still learning to use, am I correct?
I'm definitely in agreement that...
Yeah, I mean, our training prepared us for some, but there are new things I'm learning every day about what we can and can't do.
And we still haven't reached our full form yet.
No, not quite. But yes, we were sent here. We were originally sent to the Feywild to grow and to be kept safe until we were ready. And then, by the grace of our gods, we were able to transport ourselves here. However, something went wrong as we came here. I wonder if maybe there was some influence or some sabotage of the spell, because we were supposed to arrive here together, and I'm not sure that this was the time that we were due. I mean, I landed here about 8 years ago. How long have you been here, Azure?
How long would I have been here?
It's a good question. Less than 5, more than 3. Up to you how long you want to be here for.
4?
We'll go 4.
As in, like, you could be like 3, 4, 5 years, roughly, yeah.
Let's say 4 years.
Yeah, see, we left at the same time, and time is a bit weird in the Feywild. It moves fast and slow and ebbs and flows, but this was different. We were supposed to land together and be prepared. Yes, I wonder if maybe... Well, my theory now is that the cult was to blame. Trying to investigate the cause of our separation and try and locate Azure, I read that they had been mucking about, shall we say, with planar magic.
Well, look, that would make sense. The fact that they've messed with our spell.
But the question is, how did they know that we were coming, and why?
Surely the elves weren't betrayed.
I know not.
Unless, I mean, this is horrendously to think about, but God himself could have turned.
I don't want to think about that possibility. Any of the gods joining the betrayer gods.
I mean,
any of them would be a huge...
Who else would know?
That's something we're going to have to find out, brother.
Oh, yes. Are you actually brothers?
It's complicated. Technically, yes.
Technically, yes. We're two parts of the same soul.
Yes.
If you think about a light shines its rays out into the universe, where the rays that the sun has shone onto this planet.
It's actually very succinctly put. Better than I was going to say it. That's Owen speaking now. Yeah, that was way better than what I was going to say. It's very poetic.
That is
thank you.
I'm going to give you inspiration for that.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
There's some more inspirations. There are some more inspirations coming down. I was going to save them for the end, but that was just amazing. Yeah, take it.
Oh, thank you very much. I just loved how nonchalant he was about it.
He knows he's amazing.
Yeah, Andrew's all right.
He's all right. He goes okay.
He goes okay.
It goes okay.
Self-proclaimed. Maybe that's the title of the episode.
It goes okay.
It goes okay.
It goes okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in a way, yes, we are.
In a way, yes. Yeah.
But we've these elven bodies that we inhabit are not our own. So it's it's like our human manifestation of what our souls would look like in this plane.
I feel like I'd be taller.
I wish I was.
Yes. Yeah. So we this isn't our true form. It's something we inhabit while we're here. As we accustom and acclimatize, and as we unlock our true powers, I'm hoping that we can regain more of our angelic presence.
But alas, that's our story. I suppose part of it, anyway. But
Do they
sorry.
they look kind of the same? Or
There are some similarities. So they both got very similar sort of builds. They're both lithe, but there is a strength there as well. You'll notice on Azure, there is definitely some musculature there, but he's very lithe, very slender built in terms of, he's not very bulky, but yeah, there is muscle there. Both got that sort of piercing yellow eyes, slight point to the ears, very similar chin, nose, and face structure. Very similar facial hair. The only difference is that Azure has the shaved top lip and sides, whereas Leosin actually kind of has the Tony Stark beard, is the best way to describe it.
Classy.
Oh,
Yeah,
classy.
he's got the Tony Stark beard, so he's got the chin beard, the chin strap, and then the mustache heading down and joining up to the bottom.
Nice.
Nice. Does Wiltix actually have a beard, like a beard he has in that picture?
That's up to Wiltix.
No, I'd imagine the beard would be a bit longer than that. Not
awesome.
Not abnormally long, or what you'd literally think of probably with your stereotypical gnome, but it's got a decent size to it.
Nice.
I'll, as I fix up your character art, I'll lengthen that beard. Where would you like to go down to? Nipples or?
It's got to tuck into the belt. Surely it tucks into the belt.
It's in the hat.
No.
He rolls it up into the hat.
So just a bit longer than that.
Just a touch.
Well, typically the people from the forest, or the gnomes, I should say, from the forest where I come from, would have quite long beards. But no,
it's a cultural thing, not to shave it.
Yeah. I trim mine down because I feel like it might be a hindrance, and it's probably partially to do with the fact that, I mean, you know, I've been changing into a wolf for the last few years. I've tried to be, or, you know, I say shave myself down a little bit to lose the wolf-like appearance, but that'll be part to do with it as well. Trimming down the beard.
Shall I sort of bring it down to the bottom of the neck then, just to literally like an extra couple of centimeters? Done. Easy peasy.
Emeric's sitting over here with no beard.
No beard, yeah. I've removed his beard. The updated character art for Emeric is coming next episode, I promise. It's almost done.
Hell yeah.
Also have no beard.
Also has no beard.
You just have scales.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, stop comparing facial hair.
I'll stick out my chest as if I'm the superior man of the group with my big beard.
Yeah.
But, no.
So that's, I guess that's our story.
Interesting.
Yes.
I've never met anyone quite like Emeric, like Azure.
Also quite like Emeric.
No, that's true. I'll look over at Emeric.
Yeah, in the direction he walked.
Yeah, so I'm behind the tree at the moment.
Yeah.
Though I should
sorry,
say we are, though we are from gods, we are not gods. It should be very clear that we can't think for ourselves.
Yes.
We're probably more knights of the heavens rather than gods.
I always saw us as being like the hands or the arm
sword.
Arm of God. Yeah.
Emeric will actually, hearing about this stuff, he'll come back around from the tree.
Yeah, a lot of God talk going on.
He'll sit back down and he'll look at he'll look at Azure and Leosin and he'll say, what gods do you guys come from or worship?
Well, I myself, I think, from what I know, my connection is to Corellon, the elven god of magic and the arts. Azure, I'm not sure. Who is your connection with? We only found that out. I only found that out in the last couple of years. Before that, it was more of a nameless presence. So do you want me to give you a quick rundown of the gods super quickly?
Yeah.
So the main gods that would be more your style, Bahamut is the platinum dragon, the god of justice and nobility. So it's a platinum dragon. Corellon, the god of magic and art. Damir is the elven god of stars, and he's like a dark elf style character. Arathis is the goddess of civilization and invention. Ion is the goddess of knowledge, and she's another elven god. Melora is the elven god of wilderness and the sea, and she's the one who helped liberate the orcs and create the civilized orcs. So they all sort of serve her. Moradin is the dwarven god of creation and the forge. Palor is the human god of sun and agriculture. And then the last of the elven gods, Sahani, the goddess of the moon, and Vel Anve, the elven god of law.
I kind of think I want to come from there. Even though I am a sun, I think the moon goddess would be
Sahani, yeah, because the moon is just a reflection of the sun. Yeah, Sahani, the goddess of moon. Yeah, absolutely. So her symbol is the crescent moon. I'll just copy it and paste it into the chat for you. How about that?
Cool bananas.
Cool, they are cool bananas. Legumes are no longer available in Melbourne because of lack of food, so we've moved on to cool bananas.
Cool bananas. From all the looting, the bananas are gone.
Yeah. So she is the elven goddess of the moon, and her symbol is a crescent moon. There you go.
Nice, thank you.
So do you say that, Andrew?
Yeah. Sahani is the goddess of the moon. She made us. She made us all in the reflection. Though I can't tell you much about. I mean, I don't remember her at all, but I know that she gave me my purpose.
I'll look at the.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I'll look at the fire and I'll sort of say to everyone, at least it's not Bahamut.
Bahamut?
Mira will fire up at that. What is your problem with Bahamut?
Sorry, I thought you said the Hobbit, but you said Bahamut.
No, I said Bahamut, and not Baphomet either. That's the evil god. Bahamut. Yep, that's it. He's the what was he again? The god of law and
He's the Platinum Dragon,
Again.
and his domain. So he is the god of justice and nobility.
yeah.
Yeah. So he's the god of the dragons. He basically created the dragon race on Nostea. He's actually one of the very first gods. The first gods were Anam, Bahamut, and then the elven gods were next.
So I'll look at Mira and I'll look her dead in the eyes, and then you'll get a sense of. This is going to draw on my This is going to sound edgelordy, but because of my the background is the haunted one. So as you look at me, you'll see into my eyes. You'll see this depth of like grim darkness, like and ever like as if you're falling into like a void. That's what you'll see as you look into my eyes, and I'll say, I used to worship Bahamut with an order, a Paladin order, the Golden Dawn, and well, in our time of need, he wasn't there, and I saw all my comrades die.
That is terrifying. The
Just
gods have let us down too many times.
He has, well, you're pretty much a god, almost.
Well, that's why they sent us. That's why we're here. Sometimes humanity has to take charge.
See, what was worse though was that holy order. We were betrayed. And we were teleported to one of the 9 hells, Alea. And the things I saw, seeing my teammates, my friends get torn apart limb by limb and devoured. And he gestures to his arm. That I think there was a lot of betrayed gods that may have been involved in that. And I'll sort of look at the fire and I'll just sort of trail off.
Alright. Well, and with that,
Can I
would you
shake
guys
my
like
head?
to take a long rest?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Alrighty, who is on watch first? I believe it was Wiltix.
Yeah, I'll take the first. The first.
I'll
I'll go
get you
first.
to
I'll go
roll
first.
me. Okay, Azure, you can go
Oh,
first.
sorry, that's right. Yeah,
Well,
Jill, you were going first.
Can you
I
roll
might
me
as
a
well go first.
perception check, Azure, with disadvantage because of your exhaustion?
Jesus.
Still good.
Thank
19
goodness.
and 18, so 18, even with disadvantage. You watch through the night. About an hour and a half into your watch, you hear the thud of wing beats as the blue dragon wheels towards the north, moves round across to where you know the camp is, and disappears from view as you hear and look up. It doesn't seem to have spotted you, it seems to have just been heading to the camp as you hear the low thud of wing beats. Apart from that, during your watch, not much else happens.
Who was next? Who's going next?
I believe it was Wiltix.
I'm next.
So when
Wiltix.
Wiltix comes, I'll explain
Yeah.
what I saw. I saw the dragon.
Oh
It
god,
landed
is
in
it?
the, it's landed in the camp. It flew over. Look, I don't think it saw us, but gosh, you never know with dragons.
Oh no, you're right. I'll keep an eye out and see if it
All right.
starts heading
Farewell,
towards it.
Wiltix.
Thank you.
Well,
And enjoy your rest. I think you need it.
Thank you.
Alrighty. And as Azure heads off to sleep, Wiltix takes his watch. Wiltix, I'll have you roll me a perception check.
Oh, that's a nat 1 for 2.
Wow.
Alrighty.
Shit.
Oh, that's
Here we
great.
go. So this is what happens. Wiltix. As you take over watch from Azure, you can't help but feel a presence. Not quite the feeling of your skin crawling, that accompanies your transformation, but something similar. Something less, but also something more potent than this. And as you try to look outwards, you hear from inside your mind a lone wolf howl pick up, first starting quite soft and quiet, rising in pitch and volume until all you can hear and all you can think is this wolf howl. You find yourself closing your eyes to focus. And as you do so, you see yourself standing upon an open plain, grassland all around, the 2 moons of Nostea rising high above you, both full. An impossibility, as far as you knew, but somehow here, both moons full at the same time. And as you spin around, fear starting to rise within you as you realize that with both moons full, the transformation that has come in the past will come again, and this time far more powerful than you've ever experienced. As you spin around, you hear a low growl from behind you. At first, all you see is darkness framed by the stars. But as this panting and these footsteps move towards you, you see the form of a giant black wolf with glowing yellow eyes, easily 6-7 meters tall as it pads towards you. What do you do?
Would I... I don't know if I'd feel... Am I currently feeling frightened from this experience, or is it one of those...
There's definitely a moment of fear as you notice that both of the moons are full, and as far as you knew on Nostea, only one moon can be full at a time, and so the fact that they're both full immediately sort of probably would give you a very faint fear. If you want to do it as a roll, if you think this probably wouldn't be enough for Wiltix, or if you want to do it as a roll, you can roll a wisdom saving throw to see how scared you are. But it's up to you. If you can also say how scared you think Wiltix is.
Well, it's one of those ones where, I mean, because I've been going through these changes of a wolf, I don't know. I think I'd feel like I'd be slowly accepting it more and more as I've been able to control it more and more. So I keep wondering if this is a sign, yes, fearful of not knowing what the transformations are actually doing to me, in a sense. But I feel like as the wolf is there, it's coming towards me. Is it running towards me, or is it just
padding very slowly and almost silently? It's only because of your very unnaturally acute hearing and smell that you can hear and smell this thing approaching. And as it sort of moves out from the darkness and comes closer to your vision, it's huge. This thing is 6-7 meters tall. It is a giant black wolf with these glowing yellow eyes. When I say glowing, sorry, more of a metaphorical glowing rather than an actual literal glowing. I realise that in D&D, glowing eyes are a thing. More of a metaphorical
I get what you mean. Like,
they're reflecting the moonlight really strongly.
Well, I'm going to take a couple steps towards it, see if I can capture an image of it.
Yeah, as you step a little bit closer, the fear slight within you, your recent successes and your recent acceptance of this part of you that previously had been a very fearful, very confusing time for you. As you've learned to control it, you're starting to find acceptance and find peace about this side of who you are. The wolf cocks its head on an angle, almost like a dog that's heard a voice or a noise. It cocks its head a little bit curiously, and then lowers its body a little bit, almost a little bit submissive in a way, as it moves towards you, and then lies down in front of you, looking at you with bright, curious eyes. No sense of malice comes from this creature, just a sense of power, a sense of wilderness, of wild, untamed power. What would you like to do?
I'd walk up. If it's now lying on the ground,
right in front of you.
Oh, right. I'd be sitting down, almost lying down with it, but face to face, just trying to get up as close as I can.
Okay. Yeah. Can you make me I give you a choice about what sort of check you would like to make. This could be persuasion, survival, or nature, and you have advantage on whichever check you choose to make. I would say that you can use any three of these because you're kind of using elements of all of them.
I'll go with nature.
Yep. So you're using your knowledge of... Oh, nice. And you've got advantage too.
21.
Amazing.
If you get a nat 20, holy shit.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
Okay,
21.
roll 20 has decided you get a 21 for this check. Yeah, so you're
Wow, I can
using
only
your
roll
knowledge...
doubles.
Yeah, you can only roll into sequentially identical numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're using your knowledge of wolves, of their behavior, your understanding of natural behavior to emulate and to show that you are not a threat to this thing, that you are friendly. What else are you trying to communicate with this? You are successful. Yeah.
I mean, the way that... I won't go into how I started transforming or what maybe started.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, we can save that. Yeah.
But would I want to talk to this wolf, but I don't know.
You can just start talking. You can just start talking in common or gnomish, whatever you want.
I just want to ask it, like, because I mean the whole thing is surreal to me, so I don't know how I would want to communicate with it. But I want to essentially ask the wolf why me? Why is this happening to me? Why did how was I chosen for this?
Yeah, so in a way, I guess you're kind of using your body language to show a curiosity, a cautious curiosity, right?
Well, I'm assuming that I've
yeah
also partially changed from just being.
You're still yourself at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Even with the 2 full moons above you, you're still Wiltix, and that probably would be a little bit confusing. You haven't transformed. You're still you.
Well, just trying to ask for get answers from the wolf, because I'm obviously feeling like this is a sign of some sort about what's happened or what's to come, and just trying to get some communicate.
Absolutely.
Confusion, really.
Yeah, and you absolutely can verbalize out loud the question, why me? It sounds like that's exactly what you were doing.
Yeah.
The wolf leans in really close and sniffs at your upper left shoulder, the area where you received the bite that changed you from Wiltix into Wolftix. The area where you received the bite that changed everything. Sniffs it very closely and then huffs a breath of hot air over your face as it breathes out and leans back. And it looks down at you with these very piercing yellow eyes and goes. And you hear in your mind a voice, a very soft, very deep, grumbly voice. Because... And that's what you hear. Just the single word, because.
That's causing me confusion.
Yeah.
That's I mean, Coach, I was hoping for an actual answer, some sort.
You can say that.
Well, I'd be demanding of this, god, creature, animal. No, I deserve to know more. And I'd probably walk, or I mean, at this point in time, I don't know if I think I'm dreaming, or I think I'm awake, as far as I'm concerned. Looking at,
you're not sure.
Well,
you can make an intelligence check to see if you can figure out whether you're awake or asleep.
Yeah.
Up to you. 20.
You can leave it. Yeah,
it'd be 18 because it's not an intelligence save, but it'd be 18 instead. So 18.
Yeah.
You definitely get the feeling that either you are asleep or you have been transported somewhere else. You've been moved somewhere else, or you're asleep. You're not sure.
Well,
definitely one of those two things. The fact that the 2 moons are full in the same time in the sky, dead giveaway that this can't be real.
Well,
at least on Nostea.
I'd like to chase the wolf then. I feel like, again, deserving answers, and as I run, I'd be trying to change into my like and form.
Okay, yeah, so it's still sitting down, lying down at this point. As you try and change into the Lycan form, as you call upon the power within you, and you draw forth that bestial fury, nothing happens. You reach deep within yourself to this wellspring of power, and it's not there. It is as if you never had the curse. And as you try to do that, it makes a weird huffing noise that you quickly realize is laughter. And in your mind you hear again that voice. You call upon me, Fenris.
Sorry, I missed that last part.
Oh, you call upon me, Fenris.
I do call upon you.
Then we shall hunt. And the wolf leaps at you. This giant 6-7 meter tall wolf pounces on you, and as it lands on you, you feel that power, that fury, and that wild nature fill you again. And as the wolf touches your body, it begins to pull inside of you. Your hands change into claws, except this time full werewolf claws. Your body grows and shifts and changes. You feel your face push out into a full muzzle. A tail grows from between your legs as you transform into this full hybrid form, this incredibly powerful, dangerous creature. And as you lean back and howl towards the moon, you realize that the sound you heard in your mind was this howl, was your howl. And with that, you're startled awake. Still you, back at the camp with the others, supposed to be keeping watch. And as you look up at the moon, you feel that power within you, and you hear that voice in your mind. Yes, Wiltix. Very good. And that's where we're going to finish for tonight, I think.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, wow.
Epic conclusion.
I realized.
Chills, man. Literal
I'm so
I'm
pleased.
sorry. I just let out a little squeak. I was just like, I'm sorry. Sorry.
No, that wasn't the dummy. It's just that as I was listening to it, I'm like, getting closer and closer into the laptop. Just trying. I don't know why, but and then as you said the name, I'm like, oh shit, it cut out.
No, that's all good. Fenris was the name that you heard. Yeah. Awesome session, guys. No combat, complete roleplay that session. Awesome.
We did some sneaking. We did some sneaking around.
You did some schnicking around.
Yeah.
We had some shenanigans.
I'm always really stoked when you have an episode or a session where the roleplay is so good and so well done, and you handle things so well that there's no need to resort to having to get shit over the head. Yeah, it very rarely happens, and I'm always really stoked when it does. It's really fun.
That's right. It never happens. Yeah. Full disclaimer. Everybody. Yeah. It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
It does. This is it. We just did it. We did it, guys. We did it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So because of the main focus on you guys and the huge amount of story revelation we got about Azure and Emeric. When you rolled that nat 1, I was going to save this for a little bit later, but when you rolled the nat 1 for the perception, I was like, oh, let me quickly check, and then it's like, I rolled a quick thing to see, and it was like, the person falls asleep. So there's a number of different things that can happen when you roll poor on perception and when you have encounters during the night. And when it said you fall asleep, I was like, oh, I'm going to do it.
Nice.
There's no better, it's so organic.
That's perfect. Perfect
so
episode.
Organic. It just had to happen then. So I'm sorry to spring that on your side. I know we hadn't talked about it yet, but
No. I mean, I get the name reference as well. So
good. I thought you might.
It's perfect.
Yeah, you and I'll have a chat, and we'll go through some more stuff about that later, and yeah, that'll be fun. But
We're gonna wake up with a wolf now.
Oh no, I'm always the same lovely little.
It's always Wiltix.
Fun loving and everything like that. It's just yeah.
How do we know?
You'll never know.
He's always been Wiltix. He always will be Wiltix.
Schrodinger's Wiltix.
Schrodinger's Wiltix. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for this really awesome session tonight. yeah, I've had a lot of fun. Part 1 and Part 2 of Episode 6. I think these might be my favourite so far, but I have said that about every episode as well.
These definitely had like a heavy feeling.
Yeah, there was some like really moving moments, some
Yeah.
strong philosophical points.
We're learning a lot about the characters, which I absolutely fucking love. Just so much fun. So thank you so much for joining us for episode 6. We will see you guys for episode 7 next week. Again, if you're a fan of what we're doing, please chuck us a like.
Like, guys,
subscribe.
just keep liking.
Make new
It's
accounts
Andrew.
and like on those.
Do it for Andrew.
Like us, please.
We sound a bit desperate now.
Be our friends.
Yeah, if you want to support us, the best way you can do that is by liking it, listening, sharing it with your friends. Absolutely. And we're going to set up those Twitter feeds and have some more community engagement. Feel free to hit us up on that. I'm going to set up a little wiki at some point in the future too, to chuck in like some info on the characters and info on the homebrew rules.
God!
All the fun stuff that I've come up with, all the new classes and guild roles and things like that, I'll chuck up so that you guys can use them too as well for free. Play around with them. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much, everyone. I think we'll say goodnight here, and we'll see you all next time.
Perfect.
See you guys.
Lost Archives.
All right,
Keep
good night,
safe.
guys.
Keep safe. Please
Bye.
keep safe.
Play D&D. Yeah.
Play D&D. Keep safe.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys later. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.